2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Ortiz. Burst by him near the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 22 and a first down. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 5 from the 8. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, it's Purdy. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Niners are on the board first here in this Super to get this drive underway. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
72 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. 3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Now they can't bring him down. There he goes left side. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 34 yards there and a first down. He only needed a few inches. He got that and then some.
It felt to me like his offensive line and teammates took that as a personal challenge. They knew the line of scrimmage would be stacked. Didn't matter how many bodies were in there. They just wanted to create a little bit of a sliver for him, and that's what they did, and he rumbled.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through 1 tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. From the 24 now, here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ortiz. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That would go for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. Did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that
well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that 2nd level and 3rd, and that's what they were able to exploit.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
He finds his man, complete. That's Ortiz. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 12-yard line. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the 49ers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there.
Purdy bootlegging it. He finds his man, complete. That's Ortiz. There he goes again. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Niners will extend their 3rd quarter
instead.
3rd quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. A solid stiff arm. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And 220 yards for him on the ground now. He has been toughing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need to put ball, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one, and here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Now, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Up the middle they go. Ortiz powers through him. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A gain of 10 on a 49er first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Ortiz. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as...
It was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did that? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.